It looks like we made it. 2020 is behind us and 2021 is going to be the better year. I'm Marty with Warehouse and Operations as a career. You know, I, like everyone else, was a bit blindsided last March. I think our industry had, gotten a bit comfortable in our lives. We had access to everything we wanted. If we didn't like our boss, even if we just got mad at the company for a day, not a problem. We'd go get another job. I think a lot of us thought our finances were all in order. We may have figured we were doing good by having a rainy day fund with like 2 weeks worth of expenses in it. We had savings. We had a plan. We could go out anytime we wanted to, see a movie, go to dinner, catch up with old friends, and it all stopped. For most of us light industrial workers, it stopped for at least 2 weeks. Many of us had to deal with reduced hours and maybe even pay cuts. If we didn't have a plan in place, and who really would, did you ever think a virus would show up and shut us down? Well, I forgot where I was going with that, but really, could we have even had a plan for such a thing? I guess we could have had more money saved or cash on hand, but I don't really know what else. Well, I, for one, do have plans for 2021. Of course, financially, I'm going to plan a little better, and I think we all should. But don't limit yourself to just thinking about money, or even savings, I should say. Our plan should consist of how to make more money, too. In today's world, investing has been made simple. Well, simple to make a stock trade, I guess. But of course, you do have to put in the work to know the what and the how. And then there's cryptocurrency. I have several friends that play around there, not just buying and selling, but mining their own too. But now, and this is a big but, it needs to be understood that all of that is risky, and there's absolutely no guarantees that you will not lose your entire investment. Oh, and anything you see about investing on social media, or someone telling you to invest with me and you only pay me something when we make something, run away. Social media is not the avenue to seek investing help. There is a whole lot of help out there, though. We here at WAOC are definitely not financial specialists, so I'll quit talking about investing. If you do have interest in such, send us an email to host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com, and we'll point you in the direction of Googling for companies that may be able to help you. But you know what? We do know a bit about targeting employers and getting those interviews, even keeping our light industrial positions once we have landed them. And here in 2021, we'll be speaking with others, the professionals, regarding getting hired, keeping our jobs, and advancing those careers. 2021 is going to be a year chopped full of ops. All the positions, more on frontline management, and all the advancement and earning potential our light industrial fields can really offer us. So moving forward now, let me find my bullet points here. Okay, goals. Everybody got them? You know what yours are? What about our plan? Have you written it down? Is it somewhere that we'll be able to see it every day, or where we can pull it out and look at it as often as we need to? If it's not, or you haven't done anything with your goals or plans just yet, I guess you're saying you are all right earning the same amount of money, or maybe a bit less next year. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, and that reminds me. We had a listener ask about a savings strategy that we talked about in December of 2017. It's called the 52-Week Money Challenge. Now, this is a great way, with just a little bit of discipline, that you can save $1,378. And it's a really simple program. You just move $1 to our savings on week 1 of the year, then $2 on week 2, then $3 on week 3. All we're going to be doing is adding $1 each week of the year all the way to $52 on week 52. And that'll be $1,378. Now, what some people do is start out with the $52 on week 1. $51 on week 2, all the way down to week 52, which would be $1. Going backwards might make the holidays a little bit easier. Either way, if you do not touch it, it's a fun and challenging way to save money. Of course, you have some people that they like to just pick an amount to throw towards savings every week. Generally, I hear something like $25 a week. That would give us $1,300 at the end of the year. $30 a week, and that's a nice round number, and that would give us $1,560. I know one guy that for, probably 10 years, he has set aside $80 a week. He had gotten a pretty nice raise way back when he went from a forklift driver to a receiver, and decided to put all his raise in a savings account at that time. You know, we talk about it every once in a while and still laugh about his situation back then. Now, of course, he has taken advantage of his company's 401k plan, and I'm sure he has a few other investments, but just that one savings plan, $80 a week, would be $4,160 a year. And let's say it has been 10 years. That'd be $41,600. Not a bad savings plan, right? He socked away just one of his raises. He feels like he never really missed that cash because he had it go straight to his savings. Well, I'm straying again. So I was talking about having a goal, a financial goal for this year. Last year, WAOC threw out a challenge to all of us to earn $5,000 more than we did in 2019. Now, for any new listeners, our goal was to increase our hourly wage by $2.40. Now, of course, working any kind of OT or extra shifts could have helped us out too. The goal was to earn $5,000 more on our W-2s. Well, it was a tough year for a lot of us. Some had to kick that goal on into this year, and that's perfectly fine. Remember, just as we decide what our goals are, we get to set the rules as well. The important thing is to write it down again and give it a go. So goals. I had a supervisor tell me last week she had sat down to write out her plans for 2021, and she got stuck after make sure my children learn right from wrong. Now that's a hefty goal right there all on its own. I can see how she got stuck. No, seriously. Our children learn first from us and then from the ones we put them in front of, right? If we talk, see how I slid in the word communicate there? If we talk with our children, our significant others, and peers, and our managers, well, we all know the difference from right and wrong. A goal or goals, they're not hard to come up with once we determine what we want. I like to do something like this. Draw a line down the middle of a piece of paper. Now draw a line across the middle of the page. We now have 4 sections. In the top left box, write want and have. In the top right box, write don't want and have. Now in the bottom left square, write want and don't have. Then finish up by writing don't want and don't have in the bottom right square. I'm always surprised when I complete this exercise. I try to do it about once a quarter. I'm shocked every single time. So take some time in a quiet place. Think about it a little. Our wants and haves are pretty easy. I tend to list more personal stuff here, and that's okay. Of course, we're working on our careers, so let's list a few of them as well. They'll be like our blessings and achievements. Now move over to the top right. We'll want to list our don't want and haves. Now this list is going to surprise you. You'll learn that we accumulate things and that our wants will change from time to time. Now let's go down to the bottom left square and list our want and don't haves. Some consider this our true goal box. I've found once I write about half of my wants but don't haves, I've changed my mind regarding about half of them. I mean, we're going to write about things we may have wanted for a long time. But then when we write them and start thinking about achieving them, or I at least realize I've changed, and that I may not want to put in the time to see them come to life now. Then this brings us to our last square, the don't want and don't have square at the bottom right of our page. Some call this the keeping up with the Jones box. I myself always fill this box up. When I'm looking at my other 3 squares, well, this becomes my trash can. Now we have a better idea of what we want our goals to be. I have another quick sheet that I apply against my goals. I'll get both of these sheets put up on our website at warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com as quick as I can, so you can look at them and download them for free. Anyway, I want to talk about SMART goals, or S-M-A-R-T. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-framed. See, it spells SMART. So you'd say something or write something like my goal. Then you would look specific. Is my goal specific enough? Does it specify in what way, how much, where, with who? I include all the details that I can. And then measurable. Is my goal measurable? How will I know when I've achieved it? For example, what if I want to improve my productivity by 30%? What would that number be? Or if I wanted to earn $5,000 more this year, what would that hourly rate need to be? Things like that. And then achievable. Is my goal achievable the way that I have it phrased right now? Literally, could I achieve this goal? For example, is it possible to reach my new productivity rate safely? And then realistic. Considering my current capabilities, is my goal realistic? Am I doing what needs to be done? Do I have all the tools? Do I know how to take the steps necessary to reach the goal? Do I have the right grit or resolve? And sometimes that's the tough one. And then time framed. How long do I believe this goal will take? Is there a deadline? Can I apply a deadline? What are my sub-goals and what deadlines do I need to set for those? We need to answer these questions. Write them down. This piece of paper is our commitment to ourselves, our achievements. I find these exercises more fruitful when I include an accountability partner, someone that pushes me along, and I push them along too. We can encourage each other each week, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with keeping our plans and goals to ourselves either. I do believe that we'll have better success if we share them, but do what makes you feel comfortable. And don't get too hung up on them either. We reserve the right to make adjustments along the way. Life can hit us head on sometimes. A bad week doesn't mean a flawed plan. Well, let's all welcome in 2021. We're going to rock it. Remember, WAOC is just an email away if we can help you with any goal planning. Next week is week 1. We get to reset everything. Good luck this year. May it be prosperous, productive, and safe for all of us.